I have to check what kind of policy they have.
What are you reading so intently?
This is an article about local elections. Local elections, which are held once every 4 years, will be held in April. This is a Japanese election that is held nationwide on a unified election scheduled for local governments.
Elections. It's a foundation of democracy. What do you think will be the issue in this election?
Well, infectious disease measures have calmed down for the time being. There are many things to focus on, such as measures against price surges, the direction of national defense, economic revitalization, welfare, etc. But, above all, nothing is more important than a declining birth rate or child-rearing support measures.
Ah, I saw it on a TV news. The Prime Minister is advocating the declining birth rate reform.
Yes. Oh yeah. As part of the government's declining birth rate measures, the lump sum allowance for childbirth and childcare will be increased in April this year.
Can you get paid to have children?
That's right. If you give birth to a child, you will receive 500,000 yen. Well, I don't think people give birth to children because they want money though. Not only Japan government, but also local governments are starting to move. For example, Tokyo decided to provide all children between the ages of 0 and 18 with a monthly allowance of 5,000 yen.
What? So much? How much will they get by the time they're 18?
Let me see. 5,000 yen multiplied by 12 months, so 60,000 yen per year. And it will continue for 80 years, so it will be 1,080,000 yen.
More than 1 million yen per child? My food bill is 300 yen a month, so it's more than 3,000 times.
Your explanation is confusing. Anyway, the governor of Tokyo has expressed a sense of crisis, saying the declining birth rate is undoubtedly a national issue that will affect the survival of the country. In addition, Gifu Prefecture has decided to provide a cash gift of 100,000 yen for each child born after the second child. Akita Prefecture will provide 20,000 yen per child. Mie Prefecture has decided to subsidize project cost for towns that come up with original ideas for child-rearing support.
Many municipalities will follow suit.
Definitely.
I wonder if these childbirth counter measures are effective.
I'm not sure. Generally, it is said that it will take a long time for measures to address the declining birth rate. Time will tell. I think that people who originally planted to have a child will be financially easier by receiving money.
But isn't that a policy that only works for couples who are already married?
I think so too. In Japan, there are few children born out of wedlock, so the number of children will not increase unless the number of people getting married increases. Governments may need to provide support for those who want to get married. We also need more work-style reforms that allows having a fulfilling private life. There is still room for improvement in systems that allow men to actively participate in childcare. It seems that many women do not want to have children because the burden of work, childcare, and nursing care is too heavy for them. Take household chores, for example. The average weekday housework time for women is 263 minutes, while men, it is 37 minutes.
Women do most of the housework.
In an international comparison, the time difference between Japanese men and women in doing housework is striking.
As birds, males and females work perfectly together to raise our babies.
We should learn from birds.
We've been talking about measures against a declining birth rate so far. But in the first place, it's a personal choice to give birth or not, right? You're also free to marry or not.
You're right. We also have to vary of the idea of diversity, as Piko puts it. The future of the country is important, but it's also important to live our own way. By the way, I remember a story about a couple.
A couple? What are they like?
They are called a power couple. In other words, it's what you call a couple who have a high-income job and are financially comfortable. In addition, they have great personalities and are trusted by the people around them. Besides, they are both good-looking.
Are they human? They are like a prince and a princess.
You're right. And both are still young.
Maybe. Are people around them expecting them to have children?
Piko, you have a good intuition. How smart will the child be if he or she has born from this so-called power couple? How cute will the child be? The young couple is expected to have children like this, but they don't want children from the beginning.
Oh, why?
Two have different reasons. The wife loves children, so I thought she definitely wanted a child for her own, but she doesn't want one.
It's surprising. But why not?
For her, work is the most important thing in her life. She thinks that having children gets in the way of her work.
It is so. She can continue working after having a child, can't she?
For her, doing her job is her life, so she doesn't have spare time to take care of a family, especially a child. That's why she thinks raising children is impossible. She believes that even if she gives birth to a child, the child won't be happy. What do you think, Piko?
I wish people with a sense of responsibility like her should be a parent. But this is her decision. It means she has a career to cherish, right?
She discarded the possibility of other personal goals. I think she's a strong-willed person who puts all her heart and soul into her work.
Then, how about the husband?
The husband is much simpler. His wife is everything to him. As long as he is with his wife, he is happy. So having children is not necessary. Besides, if they have busy raising children, he spends even less time alone with his wife. He is afraid of that.
He's like a child.
I think so too. Above all, childbirth is risky for a mother's body, so he doesn't want to risk his wife's physical well-being.
His love is so deep.
The wife never had any intentions of getting married, but her husband proposed persistently. Then finally she agreed to the marriage. Now the husband does all the cleaning, cooking, and picking up his wife from her work. He always cares about her diet and sleep. He's a little annoying, isn't he?
But She's happy to continue doing her career and to be loved sincerely by her husband, I think. Anyway, it's lucky that they have the same opinion about not having children, even though they have different reasons.
The government actively appeals for child-rearing support, and people around them are expecting them to have children. It's what you call silent pressure.
The expectation is much higher because they are a power couple.
By the way, the declining birth rate is not only a problem in Japan. Recently, I saw the news that South Korea's birth rate became 1.78, the lowest ever.
The population cannot improve unless 2 or more children are born from one couple.
Yes, Japan's birth rate is currently 1.33, so Korea's declining birth rate is even more severe than Japan's. Speaking of Korea, I recently met a Korean engineer working in Japan. At that time, we had a small talk. I asked him casually, "What made you decide to work in Japan?" His answer surprised me.
What did he say?
He said his parents and relatives insist on him getting married early and having children. He found it so depressing that it eventually became unbearable. It is said that engineers can easily find work all over the world because they are in great demand. He came to Japan because a job offer was open.
He would have wanted to leave his family.
His superiors and colleagues at Japanese companies are very kind, and he enjoys working there. But he said he felt guilty about his family.
It seems that he and his parents have different values.
When people are forced to do something, they don't want to do it even more. It causes a reverse effect.
I agree. The more you stop me from stealing a taste of your meal, the more I want to taste it.
You should eat buried food. Anyway, happiness is different for each person. What makes Piko happy?
I am happy to poop where I like, when I like.
Do you know who cleans your poop every day?
I'm a bird. It can't be helped. You?
I'm happy when I'm taking a hot bath after working hard. It feels great.
How simple we are.
Happiness always lurks in our daily lives.